King with a CBS World News Roundup. It's been nearly 14 months since the first Hezbollah attacks on Israel from Lebanon. More than 100 Israelis and several thousand people in Lebanon have been killed in fighting, but a ceasefire brokered by the U.S. and announced yesterday has begun. CBS's Deborah Patta is in northern Israel near the border with Lebanon.
In the early hours of this morning, the gun fell silent. Now the tense 60-day wait to see if this holds. During this period, Israel must withdraw from Lebanon and Hezbollah retreat north of the Litani River while Lebanese troops and UN forces keep the peace. But if Hezbollah violates the ceasefire and tries to rearm, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said we will attack. It's not safe to go home, said Israeli Eliyahu Maman, because Hezbollah can still harm us. I don't believe in this ceasefire, Beirut's Rima Abdelkalat said. Israel cannot be trusted. But that lack of trust has not stopped thousands of Lebanese civilians hitting the roads down south. Everyone's desperate to go back home, despite warnings that it's still too dangerous.
White House National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan tells CBS Mornings it's time.
Israel achieved its military objectives. Hezbollah, the terrorist group, has been badly degraded. The tens of thousands of Israeli citizens and hundreds of thousands of Lebanese civilians will be able to return to their home, and it's designed to be a permanent end to this war.
There's late word that the U.S. and China have made a deal to bring home 3 Americans. The U.S. says were wrongfully imprisoned there. 79-year-old John Leong and Kai Li, both been sentenced to life in prison on espionage charges. Mark Swiden was sentenced to death on drug charges. Several Chinese individuals will be sent home in exchange for the Americans. This is getaway day for the tens of millions of Americans traveling for the Thanksgiving holiday. Nearly 3 million people flew yesterday, even more are expected to fly today.
You do what you have to do to make it happen. I'm going to make it happen to go see the family.
CBS News correspondent Chris Van Cleve.
On the roads, on the rails, and in the air, America is on the move to Thanksgiving dinner. This couple in Texas left early Tuesday.
We leave on Wednesdays and we realized that it's a lot more busier, so we decided to leave on a Tuesday and kind of see how that handles out.
Carol Moore and her son took the train from Washington, D.C. to New York.
I've made plans to go see a Broadway play and to also beat the traffic.
At the airports, the TSA expects to screen 2.9 million flyers today, and the FAA is opening additional express lanes in the sky, usually reserved for the military, along the East and Gulf coasts to help keep pace with the surge in holiday flights.
It beats driving 12 hours with 3 kids in the car.
Kathy White and family left New York by air this year to see loved ones in Bristol, Virginia.
It's family. Just thankful to have them all together and have that dinner. That's what makes it worth it, family being together.
AAA expects nearly 72 million will drive this year, a record-setting number of drivers, finding gas prices about 19 cents cheaper than last year.
They've gotten about a foot of snow in parts of Colorado and Utah. Meteorologist Craig Allen says there are weather worries further east.
My expectation is that travel is definitely going to be challenging. It will be hampered by rain and or snow and possibly some severe weather in the south, covering 80 to 90% of the eastern half of the nation.
President Trump's incoming border czar has visited the southern border in Texas and says the next administration will keep its campaign promise.
There is going to be a mass deportation because we just finished a mass illegal immigration crisis on the border.
It's 4 minutes after the hour.
Well, that's today's news. Today's news. I didn't hear any good news, did you? I didn't think so. I guess it's all about perspective. The glass is half full. Well, as always, I'd like to thank you again for coming along with me on these Dash Cam News adventures. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody. It's 40 degrees in Napa, California.